every single night.
I don't actually believe that I will ever use this bath. It's just too small.
My room.
Oh no, it's really. Oh, this is great. It's big. This is bigger than I thought.
The bed is big enough. The contrast I'll be living in between Janelle's house and Robin's house is going to be so significant.
Oh, wow. That was a bath!
The drama of sister wives strikes again. So here we go with the scene breakdown. And I've got a sarcastic twist just for you. Let's talk about justice for Aurora and Brianna, because apparently the internet needs it. For the longest time, I thought Aurora and Brianna were sitting there, making fun of Janelle's trailer, specifically Savannah's room, like a couple of high school mean girls. Classic reality TV move, right? But wait, hold up. After seeing some comments coming to their defense, I decided to go full detective mode and rewatch the scene. Surprise, surprise, they are actually gushing about the place. They're genuinely impressed. So much for the shady reputation, huh? And the infamous foot wash line. Yeah, turns out that was not Aurora's snarky moment. That delightful gem actually came from Savannah. Of course, closed captioning thought it was Aurora because why not? Editors, on the other hand, they were crystal clear. It was Savannah. Listen closely to the audio. It's obvious. But sure, let's keep blaming Aurora because that's funnier, right? Now, about that dog bed question. I didn't hear even a hint of mockery in Aurora's voice. Seriously, people, she's not here to roast Janelle's setup. My guess, she was just confused. There are 3 bunks and a booth table. Super cool, by the way, and somehow, none of them had real mattresses yet. But sure, let's spin it as some big mockery moment. Keep doing that, folks, really adds to the storyline. And while Kody and Janelle are going at it over the dog drama, Aurora and Brianna are just continuing to marvel over the room. I'd bet money they were complimenting the little details that Savannah showed off to Isabel, Gwen, and Truly. Ah, sweet moments of bonding. So much for the roast, right? Now, here's a random side note. Kody, in all his wisdom, casually mentions Janelle's bedroom. Like, okay, Kody, sure you know all about that space. Classic Kody, am I right? Also, a shout out to Gwen during the rewatch. She immediately points out that it was Savannah who made that smirky comment, not Aurora. She's like, nope, Aurora wouldn't do that. And let's be real, Gwen's probably right. Aurora was, like, universally adored by the OG Brown kids, and she meshed really well with them. But somehow, the teenage girls, especially the ones with a bit of sass, get painted as villains. Funny how that works, huh? Everyone's a teenager at some point, but only the girls, and Leon, naturally, gets stuck with that reputation forever. Oh, and let's not forget that gem from Gwen's podcast. Brianna wouldn't even speak to Savannah at school. Not a single hi, people. Cold as ice. Now, this is a whole other can of worms. Is this about Brianna, or does it have more to do with Kody and Robin's parenting? Because, let's face it, at that age, you should be at least trying to be decent to your step-sibling, right? Then again, this whole family is a walking reality show drama, so who really knows what's going on behind the scenes? In short, let's stop acting like Aurora and Brianna are the villains of the piece. They were just teens trying to get through life in a family full of drama, and the internet's ready to throw them under the bus for a few innocent moments. I'll just leave that thought here for everyone to chew on. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. David really seems to be nailing the whole stepdad thing with True, doesn't he? It's almost like he's adopted her into the family as if she were his own, taking her on adventures, making sure she's included in everything. Meanwhile, the whole Codster situation, with his 4 wives and countless kids, must be a whirlwind for True. But David, he's doing what he can to make her feel like she's truly a part of the family. And honestly, that's pretty cool. Now, as for Truly, wow, that kid has been through a lot. moving across states twice, watching her mom go through a divorce, and remarrying all in just 2 years. That's heavy, even for an adult, let alone a teenager. Sure, it's possible that Truly's at that age where she might not be so into family trips anymore. She's got siblings to hang with, so maybe she's just choosing her own thing now. But it's weird not seeing her much on Christine's Instagram feed lately. I mean, did they even take her on that trip to Colonia Lebaron or the NASC at R1? Maybe she just passed on them. And you know, I do wish David's political choices lined up a little better with the kind of world he's trying to create for Truly. If he really cared about her future, he'd focus on her rights, her freedoms, and, honestly, this planet she's inheriting. Just a thought. I ran into Janelle today at Marshall's in Greenville. Of course, she looked absolutely stunning, no surprise there, and it seems like she's dropped a few pounds. I was way too shy, and probably in shock, to ask for a photo, but seriously, she looked incredible. A Janelle sighting is like stumbling upon a rare Pokemon in the wild, rarer than spotting Kody at a mall. Kudos to me for not making it awkward and pulling out a camera. Marshall's is my happy place, but seeing Janelle there, that's on another level. I just have to say, Janelle is gorgeous. Like from day one on the show, she's always had this effortlessly natural beauty. I'm not saying this to put down the other wives. Don't get me wrong, they're great. But Janelle? She's just on a different plane. Oh, and just for the record, I'm not one to interrupt people's experiences. I once sneaked off to a quiet corner of Fenway Park after sitting next to Neil Diamond. Yep, I'm that old. All right, hear me out. I've got a theory on why they're selling, and it boils down to one of 3 possibilities. First, Janelle and Miri have lawyered up, and now the monogamous duo needs to sell the house and cough up what they owe for the McMansion and Coyote Pass. Oh, and of course, they're probably moving again because why not, right? Second, there's some serious trouble in paradise, the kind where divorce is practically looming. Normally, I'd expect them to file for divorce before listing the house, but let's be real, they're pretty good at doing things in the most backwards way possible. So who knows? Now for my personal take, because who doesn't love a little unsolicited opinion? 1A, I'm not buying the whole Janelle and Miri have lawyered up thing. I mean, I'd love for it to be true, but come on, they're all talk, no action. Smart? Sure, but I don't think they're gonna rock the boat that hard. They'll just bark loudly and do nothing. 2B, the kids. They're all practically the same age. Can you imagine the chaos trying to follow all of them to college without leaving someone behind? Not happening. And let's be real, Robin's not about to let any of her precious babies go off without her. Heck, none of them strike me as the independent type anyway, including Dayton, bless his heart. 3B, oh, and let's talk about trouble in paradise for a second. I've always believed Kody had, if not love, at least some deep admiration for his wives. But Robin? Yeah, she's not happy being the only wife. She sees all the love and support the OG3 are getting, and surprise, surprise, she wants in on that action. And let's not forget, she wants the cash too. Robin has zero loyalty. If she's gonna throw Kody under the bus, she'll do it in a heartbeat, just like she did with her first husband. You can bet she's already drafting her tell-all before the OG3 even get a chance to. She'll claim abuse with vague details, of course. It's a pattern. She'll take her share of the marital assets and her plot on Coyote Pass, drain Kody dry, and walk away looking like the poor, misunderstood martyr. If Janelle and Miri haven't figured it out by now, Robin knows it's her time to bail before they get the chance. The simplest answer, though, they're broke. They can't afford it anymore. The OG3 aren't contributing to the family pot anymore, so they're not rolling in cash to keep up with the mansion and Robin's shopping sprees. Remember when she made that joke about, what's the point of having money if you don't spend it? Well, guess who's been spending it? Oh, and about the idea that maybe Janelle and Mary are forcing Robin and Kody to buy them out of Coyote Pass? Sure, maybe. But let's not forget the interview with Mary a while ago, where she was asked if she still owns part of Coyote Pass, and she literally couldn't say a word about it. That's really not a good sign. And let's talk about the art in those sale photos. They've spent more on overpriced artwork than they did on the house itself. There are videos circulating showing the prices of these things. Some pieces running anywhere from $3,000 to $20,000. Yet Christine had to fork out the cash for Gisabel's surgery by herself. This is exactly what Janelle was hinting at when she said she saw the books. Robin's shopping addiction has drained the show money. Meanwhile, Kody and Robin are probably fine. Any drama between them? Yeah, that's all for show. Real problems? They don't seem to have any, but they sure do know how to stretch a storyline for ratings. It's not just the cameras that were kept away. Honestly, I'm starting to think Robin was trying to keep the sister wives out of her house too. The whole COVID excuse might have been the spark, but it's pretty obvious it became the perfect excuse to stay in hiding. See, the pandemic made everyone paranoid, but for Robin and Kody, it was a golden opportunity to go on a shopping spree. Not for savings, mind you. No, they decided to invest in overpriced art and knickknacks instead of, actual bank accounts. I bet Kody's anti-establishment enough to think banks are just a conspiracy anyway. But here's the kicker. They didn't want the other wives over because if they saw the mountain of expensive crap accumulating, the jig would be up. So what do? They decide to never film in the house. Not once, and they keep their distance from the wives. Nice little bubble, huh? The only one who's been in their home recently is Mary, but she's got expensive taste too, so Robin probably didn't mind. Then there's the contrast. Robin's house is a hoarder's paradise, filled to the brim with shiny, overpriced baubles, and Janelle's over here, struggling to survive dry camping in a trailer. Yeah, that is a great visual. They definitely couldn't air that. Now, if you're buying into this theory of investment art, it's honestly hilarious to think about the moment they try to cash in. Newsflash, making money off art requires, a little bit of expertise. Kody? Definitely better off investing in antique weapons, something he might actually know something about. Let's be real, Robin's got a shopping addiction. She's been spending money on total garbage from day one, and the last thing she and Kody want is for anyone to see how much they've been burning through. Between the nanny, the mansion turned hoarded junkyard, and the piles of stuff no one needs, it's no wonder they didn't want to film. COVID was basically her dream come true. She's just vile, an absolute mess. And then there's Mary's place. Those same old knickknacks she had in Vegas? Yeah, they're there. They may not be super expensive, but they're the same old stuff. Meanwhile, Kody and Robin have stacked up a whole lot of, stuff. If they're calling this junk investments, it's even worse. If they're using CP development money for this, which honestly wouldn't surprise me, that's a whole new level of disturbing. Savannah's glorious moment of vindication. Remember when Robin's daughter showed up and decided to grace the RV with their delightful brand of mean girl energy? Ah, the memories. I truly hope Savannah is savoring every last comment about that house that gave them such a bloated sense of entitlement. Karma, as always, was quick to act, and Savannah didn't even have to break a sweat. Honestly, Savannah's got this quiet dignity about her that I can't help but admire. There's just something about her that stands out. Quiet dignity, I'm stealing that line from you, by the way. It's perfect. And then, let's not forget Aurora's charming comments. Are these beds for dogs? And is the bath a foot bath? Like really? What a delightful way to express your personality. It's as if they went straight to the sad section of the art catalog, then decided to slap it all over their dreary house. It's like they were trying to turn their place into an art gallery no one would ever dare step foot into. So I finally had my aha moment. Yeah, I'm way late to the Southwest party, but I've been marathoning through it like it's my full-time job for the past couple of months. A few seasons in, I'd read all the angry posts here and think, oh come on, these people are being way too dramatic. But as the wise sage I am, I decided to keep my mouth shut and power through. Well, now that I've reached season 17, I get it. And boy, do I get it. Somewhere around mid-S16, things went completely off the rails, and I mean completely. Which, considering we're talking about Kody, says a lot. Around that point, I was sitting there like, what the hell? Anyway, this is completely unrelated to anything, but I just needed to share that I've seen the light. And oh, sweet summer child, I'm not sure how I survived this long without seeing it. And don't even get me started on how spectacularly awful these two can be. Watching Coben's little patriarchal empire crumble. Pure gold. I'm not sure if it starts in S16 or S17, but the downfall kicked off when the adult kids finally decided to speak up. The oldest ones were like, you know what, Kody, we're calling BS on your whole alpha male routine. And let's just say they didn't hold back. Calling out Kody's sanity was a real turning point. For me, it felt like the kids were shining a spotlight on the mess the OG3 didn't have the guts to face themselves. Like they finally realized, hey, our parents' relationships with Kody are kinda busted. People on this thread have also mentioned that the OG3 probably saw their kids happily, or somewhat happily, in monogamous marriages and were like, wait a minute, maybe we missed a few key things about this whole family dynamic. And hey, it's all good if you're a little behind. I'm actually following one of Kody's nephews on TikTok. He's the cool one who left the religion, and he's just now starting the show. He's doing a video for every episode and sharing his very unfiltered thoughts. Should be interesting to see if he gets as deep into the chaos as I did. Signs the show has been canceled? Well, maybe. All right, folks, let's dive into the super obvious signs that Sister Wives is coming to a dramatic end. Spoiler alert, it's not as clear-cut as you might think. First up, Mykelti and Tony moving. Oh sure, Mykelti loves the spotlight, but for some inexplicable reason, she's moving away from Christine. Now, I know, Christine is basically her ticket to being on the show all the time, so why leave? Does this smell like the show's winding down, or is Mykelti just, well, being Mykelti? Then there's Mary, the queen of dramatic decisions, closing her in. Okay, so maybe she's renovating, but let's be real. Closing it could also mean the TLC checks have stopped coming in. She likely can't keep her mansion lifestyle going on just the inn's revenue, so it's possible she's preparing for retirement with whatever's left. The whole renovations excuse? Sure, we'll go with that. But honestly, it sounds a lot more like, I've got no other income streams, so I'll fix up this house and pray for a miracle. Next, Kody and Robin selling their house. Oh, now this one is golden. Robin would never leave that house unless the money was gone, right? I mean, after all, the entire reason she wanted to plant roots there was to give her kids a stable home to return to. But with the TLC cash drying up, it makes sense they're packing up and leaving Flagstaff behind. If they don't downsize now, they might be forced into doing so soon. Maybe they'll build a new mansion on some land they can't afford. Who knows? Stay tuned. Janelle's big move out of Flagstaff is another sign that life after the show is very real. She stayed in Flagstaff for years, saying it was because of her kids. But let's face it, she stayed for the show. Now, with the show winding down, she's moving to North Carolina. Sounds like she's just setting herself up to be near her grandkids and, frankly, a lot less near the endless drama. I can't say I blame her. But hey, let's not forget the most important indicator, ratings. The show's never been more popular, so as long as that's true, they're not going anywhere. Season 20, here we come. Janelle, Mykelti, and maybe even Robin could be filming from NC soon enough, with Janelle building her business out there. Plus, filming's a lot easier when you can do half of it yourself. Just pop a camera on a selfie stick and go to town. Mary? Oh, she's been out of Flagstaff for a while. Her inn is probably pivoting to a fancy event space model, and I highly doubt that's because she's struggling financially. The place probably just needs some updates, like a few fresh coats of paint or whatever. As for Kody and Robin, selling their house could be part of some grand new storyline, or they could just be using that sweet equity to downsize and build on some land. Maybe they'll live mortgage-free, living their best, living off-the-grid life. In the end, I get it. The signs are there, but unless TLC flat out announces it, it's all just speculation. They've made it through 19 seasons of doing absolutely nothing. Why stop now? So we're watching season 14, and here's Kody, all proud and excited, showing off the mega house he's bought for Robin. It's 3,500 square feet, right? But Robin, surprise, surprise, decides that's just too small. She says it in her confessional like it's some sort of tragic injustice. Too small, she says. Meanwhile, most of us would probably look at 3,500 square feet and wonder if we accidentally won the lottery. But no, Robin needs more. She wants the extra space for her kids, because, obviously, they're all going to stay at home forever. It's like she's planning for a personal family reunion every day of the week, even when the kids hit their 30s. I'm sitting here wondering, am I the crazy one? Or do these women really need 5,000 square foot houses? I mean, Robin's living in a house that would make most people do a happy dance, but no, she's entitled to even more. Where did this sense of entitlement even come from? I mean, when they were buying those Vegas houses, she was talking about living in a trailer as a single mom, heating it with a wood stove. But now, it's like she expects a palace with every upgrade. When I think about my own childhood, we lived in a tiny 800 square foot house with 6 people crammed in there, plus my aunt, and random guests rotating in and out like they were on a permanent vacation. And I don't recall anyone complaining about square footage. If someone had handed me Robin's Vegas house, I'd be on my knees, thanking every single one of those other wives for their generosity. Seriously, if I had that 5-bedroom house, I would have been so grateful. I'd probably send flowers to everyone for decades. But nope, Robin's just sitting there, acting like 3,500 square feet is some cruel, tiny joke. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.